LGBTQ flag. Shout.
So we want to take a moment to talk about Nancy Mace, who's done the right thing when it comes to the bathroom situation at Capitol Hill for mentally ill people like Evan Greer, who's a boy who wants to be a girl. It's absolutely asinine. It's absolutely asinine, the conversation that these Congress people on the Democrat side, see, they chose these people who were, at some point in life, were abused by people like Newsom and Mona Vance. They were abused by these people like Kim Kardashian. And they wanted that feeling that Kim Kardashian gave when she did this. That's why the Bud Light guy did what he did, because he used to be an actor on a play and on stage. And so he found these people find ways to get the attention of you as the audience. This is how easily you are gotten by these sick fucks. Every podcaster out there should be evaluated. Even I would even say Joe Rogan, just to be fair, on an even playing ground, because he's speaking to millions of people. And if you're an intelligent person, then you won't have a problem with it. And then you're going to go into this evaluation and you're going to be like, well, I'm going to look and see on things that I might need to work on. And that's what somebody who's actually up to real shit in a form of what a dental hygienist has to go through. Well, I don't really want to go take this course, but I have to in order to keep my license. I don't want to listen to my boss tell me that we're going to have another meeting this Friday after we've already talked about this shit every morning in the huddle. And now we have to show up on my day off to talk for 2 hours about absolutely nothing. Which is pretty much what Evan Greer did at the Georgetown University conversation. He literally showed up just to violate civil rights of other people who were listening to a conference. And that's what these people do to terrorize other people. That's called terrorism. I don't really give a crap about your personal feelings on things, honestly. You are not very good at your job. If anything you've ever done in your life, all you've ever done is talk about your fucking self, Evan Greer. And that's why you're in this fucking situation. You don't like yourself, which is why you're wearing women's clothing. You want to stand out and nobody wanted to listen to what you had to say. But guess what? You never, ever listened to the older people to tell you how to be a professional. You never fought against anything worth fighting for, because everything you stand for is for the Middle East. See, the Middle East tried this bullshit on the people of Africa, which is why the British people purchased the black people to bring to America. The British people did that. But you don't like to take a look at reality. You want to live in fantasy because you like that feeling of fire inside, because you're like air and water. You like the feminine. You like the Mona Van feminine. Nobody likes that shit except for freaky people who are lazy as shit, who don't want to do anything in the world. And that's what all these activists are doing. And that's what the Palestinians are up to also. They're just like a sharp sword, not to protect themselves. No, just to try to abuse other people so that they can feel something inside themselves, and it gets them all excited. So you'll watch these little kids scream and yell, and the mothers scream and yell. They literally are staging events on influence to make you all feel a certain way, to fuel these ignorant kids. So these kids turn against America, which is what these people who are promoting bathroom use for men in women's bathrooms, which I likely will lose this content platform because this platform has an account warning. But all I said was bathroom. So what does that tell you about the freedom of speech in this country? Well, by the way, nobody supports me. Because if that was the case, the other pages that I've lost along this process would be restored or at least researched. So where's my assistance? Green? Evan Green? Where's the assistance for me? I'm not a minority, by the way. I for minorities. I'm not a minority. I fight for people who actually deliver on something. I actually fight for people like, I don't like blonde bimbos. I don't like Kim Kardashians, but I assure you that if Evan Green was in a room with me and Kim Kardashian, he would choose Kim Kardashian. He would choose a Paris Hilton over me. He would choose a Mona Van over me because look at how many followers they have. He would choose organized crime over living a real life, but he would play me as if he was my friend to try to get me to do something for him and then leave me in the fucking dirt, just like all of you did at Uprise Yoga Studio. So this game ain't new to me. The conversation goes, how dare you? Yeah, how dare you? And guess what? Then they get fed off of the fact that they've hurt you and abused you, and now they have a breakthrough. So you're the nice person, and Gary's like, be kind all the time. Be the bigger person, he says. Meanwhile, these people are getting away with every fucking thing while he stands there on his little fucking pedestal with his fucking little whore Mona Van. I don't give a shit if you interrupt her. You're taking fucking photos with her. You're traveling the fucking country with her. You're touching her ass and her stomach and her private parts on video and film. And then you as audience just stand there and you don't say shit. And you're the ones that are activists for what exactly? To tear down the country so that you can wear a dress? So that you can walk into a restroom and stand up and take a piss? That actually has nothing to do with you. You're not going to be ever at the U.S. Capitol. So what does it even have to do with you? One person, this is over one person, who can't go use a private restroom because he's literally trying to overthrow our Constitution and the way the world works so that he can feel successful or he can feel some self-esteem because he made bad decisions in his life. And this is how terrorism works. It's not about the collective good. It's about what's good for you. And so Nancy Mace is fighting for the entire globe when she stands up to say, you're not coming to take a shit next to me while I'm taking a shit. And it was about this this long. Yeah, we don't have real conversations anymore about anything that's funny or fun or interesting or curiosity or conversational or anything. It's just eat clean. People like carrots. I like carrots. You just have to think happy thoughts. Wow, that is so interesting. You got to be positive and you got to live in the context of which you live. Okay, so what does that mean for all of us when you support Kim Kardashian over humanity? Newsom chooses Paris Hilton over humanity. AOC chooses criminals over Americans. Bernie Sanders chooses terrorists over Israel. And Pelosi chooses corruption over following laws. And I'm the one sitting over here with no interest in what I have to say when everything I've ever said makes 100% sense. 100%. I'm a nice person. You're not a nice person. Look at yourself standing in front of these people embarrassing yourselves. How do you make someone feel embarrassed when they're a violent criminal? Evan Green would be your example of somebody who's a violent criminal. How do you make him feel embarrassed? How do you make Pink Code embarrassed? How do you make them criminals? Because they are criminals and they've broken laws. They won't be, will they be embarrassed? Or are they pretending they're not embarrassed when they are embarrassed? And how do you battle somebody who sits there like that Geppetto girl who is a climate controller?